everyone, welcome to Pineapple Knits, a knitting and spinning videocast. I'm Marina, and you can find me everywhere on the web at Pineapple Yarn, especially Instagram where I'm most active. And you can visit my hand-dyed yarn, fiber, and candle company at pineappleyarn.com. Thanks so much for joining me again this week, and if this is your first time joining, welcome. This is a podcast mostly about knitting, spinning, and other fiber-related crafts. I'm coming to you from coastal South Carolina, where I live with my husband and a house full of kids and animals, and there's all kinds of stuff going on around here. But I'm so happy to join you again this week, and I love that you've taken some time out of your day to join me as well. I hope your July is going so great, and if you're in the US, I hope you had a really great Independence Day weekend this past weekend. We just kind of hung around here. We went to the beach a couple of days, so no complaints, obviously, but it was really great. We had a really great time. And honestly, this week, I've just been trying to get back into the groove, trying to get back in the swing of things, and I'm filming on Friday, so that tells you how long it's taken me. But yeah, it was really fun. We had a great time, and so it's just been a busy week of dyeing yarn and working here in the studio, crafting, but I do have a finished object I want to share with you this week. This has been a long time coming, my friends, a long time coming. This is my giant dotted raised shawl that I started maybe back in March. Yep, pretty sure it was March, which is, wow. That seems like forever ago, right? But let me get it all situated here. I'm not wearing it. I will show you, but it's way too hot and humid here to wear. but this is it. It's finished. I will pop a picture up so you can see the whole thing. But this is where it starts, and it goes all the way to here. Yes, it is massive. I will show you how big it is when I put it on. I ended up knitting the large size, and so if you're familiar with the pattern, it is the size that goes all the way through. But here it is, me wearing it. I still have so much excess. My waist is right here, so you can tell on me how massive this shawl is. I mean, it's a little embarrassing how giant it is. But what I used my dotted, there, that's better. That's a little more presentable, I think. But I used my, it was a speckled fade set of 6 50-gram skeins, and so it was the almost perfect size. Like, I couldn't have planned it out any better. I ended up weighing this shawl. It is 316 grams, and if you watch my last podcast, you'll notice that I think I showed you the yarn, how much yarn I had left. It was maybe a yard, maybe 2 yards. I mean, I barely had any yarn left. And obviously with 316 grams out of a set that was only supposed to be 300 grams, most skeins of yarn, like a full size skein, is going to be more than 100 grams. So it might be 103 grams, 105 grams, around there. And, you know, just making sure that it's not undersized. That's what I'm trying to say. So with this set, I did not weigh it ahead of time, which is, I just didn't. But it probably weighed, all 6 skeins together, probably ended up weighing about 317, 318 grams altogether. So I used every last bit of this for the large size of the dotted raised shawl. This is a pattern by Stephen West. It's been out forever. It's an absolutely beautiful pattern, and I have knit the small size before, but never the large size. So this is just, it's crazy big. But I do want to show you the fade, because I am going to be dyeing some more of these sets, and I was super excited about this. So the fade just turned out so beautifully. Here's the beginning of the shawl, and skein number 1 was up here. And then, as you can tell, the fade moves into some more greens, a little bit darker. And then as you get down further, you'll see that blue come in at the very end. So I thought they all blended together really well. Now, I did not fade this at all. I literally tied on another color as I came to the end of one skein, and then moved on to the next one. So this side, and I just love the construction of this shawl. It's knit in wedges basically, so the last color, there's way more on this side than there is at the very beginning, and I love that. I think it's just such a fun pattern. And it's definitely one of Stephen West's easier patterns, or I should say more simple for sure, because he has some crazy patterns which are super fun, but they're very challenging as well. So yay! I love this shawl so much. I think it will look not as giant and oversized on me when I actually have, you know, if I have long sleeves or I have a t-shirt. I mean, right now I just have like a summer dress, and so it looks, I think it looks out of place to me anyway. And I'm not a big person. Y'all know that I'm fairly petite, and so an oversized shawl like this, it just is massive. But I think it'll look really great in the fall and the winter. And you know what, regardless, I just had such a great time knitting this pattern. And I love making these fade kits. I really love dyeing the 300 gram fade sets, and so I won't have any for the update this following Friday, but I will the next update. So the first update in August, I will definitely have some fade sets because they're just so much fun. I love them so much. So yay! I was really excited to finish this, and now I'm gonna take it off because it's really hot. I do want to mention, while I'm still on this shawl, that I used a size smaller than is called for in the pattern. So I think it was a US 6, I think. I used my Addy clicks, which are an interchangeable set, and they are very slippery, very fast. I love them so much. I knit them exclusively. I exclusively knit with them. So yeah, this was really fun. I'm very happy to be done with it though, to be honest. It was quite the slog at the very end with especially the I-cord bind off at the very end. It's just very long, very long, but it's all good. It was really fun, and it was just what my brain needed at that moment too. I think I started it, like I said, I'm pretty sure I started it in March, and I just, you know, with the COVID and all the things going on, I just needed something kind of mindless, which that's what I normally do, so I needed it even more then. What I've been working on the rest of this week, I kept going on my Dahlia Solo sweater. This is a baby sweater, adorable, and I didn't get very far, to be honest, and I'm not even going to show it on the podcast. I was counting and I kept messing it up, and it just wasn't happening this week. I had a couple of late nights where I was working out here in the studio, and so I just didn't even, my brain was not, I couldn't count, and it's a very simple pattern. I'm done with the chart. I'm done charting, like all of the really pretty design on the yoke is finished. Yeah. So that's kind of how this week's been, but it's all good. I'm just not going to show it this week. So that's all actually that I have for the knitting segment of this episode. I have been spinning a lot though, and so I want to show you some things I've finished. And I did talk about, I think last podcast, that Tour de Fleece has started which is kind of a spinning challenge if you spin on a wheel or a spindle. It's just a really fun challenge every year to spin as much as you can, or spin through your stash, or you know, just have a good time focusing on spinning. So I did focus quite a bit on spinning this week, and I actually finished 2 skeins of yarn, which is wonderful. The first one that I finished is actually from the Paradise Fibres box from June. And this was a beautiful blend. It was called Wisteria. It was a beautiful blend of BFL, rose fiber, ramie, and flax. And so there's just a little bit of flax in it. What I did is I spun it, I spun using a short backwards draft and with smoothing. So it was just, it really smoothed everything out. And I did it pretty thin. And so I ended up chain plying this, and it just ended up being this gorgeous, gorgeous yarn. This weighs 114 grams and it's 172 yards. It's incredibly drapey. I could put it at about it's about a worsted weight. It's very, very dense yarn. So I love how this turned out. It turned out so pretty and so drapey. I don't know what I'm going to knit with it because it is 172 yards and it doesn't have a lot of loft, and so I feel like it needs to be, it'd be so pretty as a really drapey accessory. So maybe in a shawl down the line, it would work out really pretty in as an accent on a different shawl. Like I was thinking of Andrea Mowry's, oh goodness, what is her shawl called? Is it the Shift? I'll post it below. Anyway, but I feel like that pattern is, it is so forgiving of thick and thin yarns, you know, yarns that might not be the same gauge or the same weight. And so this would work really pretty in it, especially if you started or stopped with this yarn, because yeah, I can just picture it in my mind. I think it'd be really pretty. So it was really fun. I honestly, I was done with it. I was over it when I was done. The reason being, I mentioned this last time, I don't really like the silk content in yarn right now. I love woolly and lofty and bouncy. The drapey just isn't my thing right now. I don't know why, it's just not. So anyway, it's okay, it's all good. This was a really pretty blend and I got done with it. The next skein that I want to share with you is a gorgeous barber pulled 2-ply. This was from Hedgehog Fibres, one of their monthly clubs, and I don't remember what month it was because I don't remember. Isn't that beautiful though? I thought this turned out so pretty. This ended up being 343 yards. So beautiful, I love it so much. This is 116 grams and 343 yards, so puts it at like a DK weight. It is, it's like a DK weight or thinner. It's a thin DK. I don't know if y'all can see. This has the most gorgeous sparkle in it. This just has a sheen all the way through the yarn. I was pretty happy with this. I spun it with a short backward draft with smoothing, so I really wanted to, yeah, I feel like this is exactly the kind of yarn I have been working to spin. I love barber pulling in a 2-ply yarn, so this is like exactly what I love to spin. But I don't want to spin anything as thin as like a fingering weight. I really wanted to get like a nice DK weight yarn. And so I worked really hard to get that on this, and I feel pretty happy with it. I love the Hedgehog Fibres Fiber Club. They have beautiful blends. This was a merino, I believe it was a merino and like 25% sparkle. So it was very, very sparkly. It's almost like it almost has like some coppery, like warm toned bronzy sparkles. I don't know. Beautiful. So 75% merino, 25% sparkle. This is just gonna go in my hand spun stash as is like everything. I don't feel so awkward, I guess, about putting things in my hand spun stash anymore though, because I know that when I start weaving, I'm definitely going to weave with hand spun, and I'm super excited about it. So anyway, these are my spinning projects, and I actually got them off the wheel because my kids really wanted to spin this week. So I'm going to show you what they spun up, or one of them spun with a little bit of my help. So I know I've talked before about how my kids love to do the blending board, and I have an Ashford blending board. I'll link it below in case you want to check it out. It is such a fun craft. My kids love doing the blending board. What's really funny is if we ever have a friend over, they always want to do blending boards with their friends. I think that's so cool. I love that. It's so funny. But here's some of the rollags that they made on the board this week. So this one's so beautiful. It's a really pretty blend of merino, and I know this center is bamboo. There's a little bit of sparkle in there. So that's some that they made up. They did another one that I thought was really pretty. They're all really, really pretty. This one fell apart a little bit, but this one actually has some of that, a little bit of that Wisteria blend. I had a little bit left over from the yarn I spun up. So a lot of this purple is that Wisteria, but it's mostly merino, a little bit of Angelina sparkle. And let's see, what else did they do? I thought this one was really fun and unique. This is a blend of Cheviot, some merino, we got some kind of cellulose. The white is some kind of cellulose fiber. I dyed all of these actually a long time ago, and I've just had them in my stash. That has some pretty, I thought this had some pretty, it has like a gold, some kind of gold sparkle in it. So I thought these were really fun. Let's see what else they did. I have such a stash of rollags now from the kids. It really cracks me up. So that one's really pretty too. And what I have done in the past is just, I have bought an assortment of dyed merino top from Paradise Fibers. They have so many different colors, and it's just fun to get an assortment for the kids. And then what I tell them is to do like 2 or 3 colors of merino, and then so I have a basket of that, and then I have a basket of accents, what I call accents. And that includes like the sparkles and, you know, sari silk and like bamboo, different things. And I kind of have them make a sandwich. So put a base down of merino and then put their accents in, and then another thin layer of merino. That's generally what I tell them to do, and it works out pretty well. So I have, this is not all of them, I have bags, I have bags of rollags. And so I wanted to get my spinning off the wheel because I have the jumbo flyer from Kromsky, and I have a Kromsky minstrel wheel, and I purchased the jumbo flyer because it has a large whorl on it. The very uneven yarn that the kids spin actually fits on the bobbin, and it you know, fits through the orifice. So this is yarn that I helped my 7-year-old spin, and she was extremely determined. These were the rollags that she spun, or the rollags that she created on the board. It's a very textured single, and I fold it, so basically that's just felting together. Not felting together, but, you know, gently, not even gentle. It's a felting of a yarn when you just have one ply, just a single strand, and so it kind of all sticks together. But I thought she did a really cute job. I told her I'll knit her a beanie out of this, and of course I'll show you when I'm finished, but that was hers. I thought it was really, really sweet, and she was very proud of herself. And you know, that got me to thinking what I thought before with like the spinning wheel and whatnot. The Minstrel is not a huge spinning wheel. I find it very comfortable. I'm petite. I think it would fit a variety of heights, but Spinolution makes a wheel called the Polywog, and it is very tiny. It's a very, very tiny wheel. And it got me to thinking again. I think it would be so cute someday to purchase this little wheel for, I mean, I would love to try it out as well, but for the kids to use. And so I wasn't trying to get my spinning off, and then, you know, I have to change the flyer for them and all that. I mean, obviously it's not a need, it's a, you know, it'd be wonderful to be able to purchase that. I think it is, I want to say it's just over $400. So it is definitely not an expensive wheel, but you know, $400 is $400. So we'll see. Maybe we'll get it someday. But anyway, that has been their crafting this week. They have really enjoyed that. So I want to move on to what I received in the mail this week. I actually received my Paradise Fiber of the Month Club for July. And before I even start talking about it, I wanted to let you know that I am going to be giving away a box if you are a spinner or you want to try out spinning. I would love to send you a box, and this is not sponsored by Paradise Fibers. For some reason, I ended up subscribing twice. I'm not sure how, I have no idea. But I ended up with 2 of these boxes this month. They are gorgeous boxes, and this month especially, I really loved it. I thought it was a really great box. And so if you are a spinner, or if you would like to try out spinning, I would love to send it to you. All you have to do, just leave a comment below, and I'd love to know what you're crafting on right now, what you are into right now. And don't use the word giveaway because YouTube will probably shut it down. But yeah, just leave a comment and I'll pull it next week and let you know. I'll leave you a reply to your comment. But if you are a new spinner, or if you don't have a wheel, I have a really basic spindle. I have several in my house. Yeah, I have several. I think because I thought that all the kids would like to craft, and they don't. So I do have an extra spindle, and I will just include it in your box if you don't have a spindle, if you don't have a wheel. And there are so many tutorials on YouTube that are wonderful, and they can kind of give you guidance on how to start spinning. So I would love to send this to you even if you're not a spinner and you want to try it out. That being said, if you haven't opened your box yet, or if you want this totally to be a surprise and you want to enter the giveaway, just skip ahead. I'll put a timestamp. So yeah, this was a really great box this month. I was super happy with it. It has this really beautiful sparkle tissue paper, and once you open it up, this is what is inside this really pretty burlap bag. and this gorgeous organza bag with like a coral kind of motif on it, and then this holographic bag. So I'm gonna open up this little bag first. This is a mermaid theme box this month. So they haven't been including the stickers the past few months. So I was really happy to have this little sheep sticker. I mean, I'm not really into the stickers, but my kids are, so this was a really pretty sticker. They were super excited about it. They included a progress keeper, which is the same like little sheep mermaid theme. I thought was really sweet. It's kind of it's almost like a clear plastic, almost a lucite feeling progress keeper, so it was really cute. And there also was a candy. That's gone. And then I received a red spool of sequins with a threader, and I haven't even read the entire newsletter, but it does kind of give a tutorial and a link where you can see how to spin with the sequin yarn. Or just sequins. I'm not really sure. Like I said, I haven't read through it, so that's kind of cool. I thought that was really cute. The blend this month is a gorgeous blended top. I am definitely going to be spinning this soon. I love it. And I'm going to tell you exactly what is in it. I love the colors. So this is 3 ounces. They're calling this top mermaid, appropriately enough. It's 65% merino, 5% angelina, which is the sparkle, 5% tweed, 25% silk, and the silk includes a blend of mulberry, tussa, and recycled sari silk. So this is a really awesome blend. You have the gorgeous sparkles, but then you also have just a little bit of texture, which I think is really, really fun. And so yeah, and you know, it's really great too. It's very soft. You know, the tweed will add just a little bit of interest, but there's so many different colors in here and textures that I think it's just going to be a beautiful yarn. You could spin this with so many different techniques, and so yeah, super excited about that. This is 3 ounces of sea cell fiber, appropriately enough for a mermaid themed box. And sea cell is a cellulose fiber made from seaweed. And so this is an undyed top. This is what it looks like. So this is really fun. If you have a blending board, you could throw this in it. Yeah, I actually love to blend this on the blending board. I have, like last month, there was an undyed Rami, which is the fiber from nettles, and they all kind of look like this because they're processed and they're cellulose fibers or plant fibers. So that is really fun, and that was the box, and I can't tell you, I'm super excited about this month. I can't wait to spin these up. And so if you are interested in having a chance to win this box, I have it right here. So go ahead and just leave a comment about what you're interested in and what you're crafting with this month, and I'll just do a giveaway before I film the podcast next week, and I'll just leave a comment if you are the winner. Again, I'm not sponsored by Paradise Fibers. This isn't a sponsorship at all. I just accidentally purchased 2. So, so that is basically all I wanted to share with you. I wanted to give you a quick weaving update. I have had weaving on my mind. I just cannot wait. I've ordered my little 10-inch Krumsky Presto loom. I'll leave a link below in case you want to see it. I did receive a notification from Paradise Fibers that said that it was going to be a couple of weeks. So I can barely wait. It's so hard to wait, but in the meantime, because I'm a brand new weaver, I'm just kind of, I'm just gonna try it out and see if I really enjoy doing it before investing in a larger, more expensive loom. But I purchased this book. It's called Inventive Weaving on a Little Loom, and it's all about rigid heddle weaving. And I've really, really enjoyed this book. It gives some really great tips, how to warp and troubleshooting and just the really, really basics too, like different types of looms, warping. I'm trying to see what else. Yeah, just all of the little accessories you need, the parts of a loom. And then they go into some more complicated patterns, and there's lots of fun projects in the book. So if you are interested in checking out weaving for yourself, you just want to read this, there's some really great patterns in here. Sometimes I think that, I'm gonna be totally honest, sometimes books like this that are kind of like a catch-all, like beginner, very beginner plus, I feel like some of the projects are a little lacking, but I thought the projects in this book there were a lot that I would actually do. And that's just the brutal honesty. There were some really fun patterns in this, and yeah, so it was really fun. I've been actually looking at this with my daughter who's 9, and she's really into crafting and making, just like I am. And so we've been kind of sitting together and just flipping through this book and reading it together and chatting about all the projects we're going to make on our 10-inch loom. So it's been really fun, and I don't have the loom yet, but I'm really glad that I made the purchase, because I do think it's going to be a crafting tool that will get a lot of use in my house. Even if I move on to, a 24-inch plus loom, which is kind of what I have in mind for the future, I know it's going to be one of those things that some child in my house will use at some point. I have 5 kids, so someone will get some use out of it. I know at least one of my children are interested, and so anyway, it's going to be really fun. I can't wait to receive it. When I do receive it, I definitely will keep you up to date on how everything's going there, and yeah, how I'm enjoying it. I guess I will kind of leave it on that note. Thank you so much for joining me this week. As always, you can get in contact with me by leaving a comment below. You can also message me on my website, and you can also email me. Those are the fastest 2 ways, but it's always so great joining you. And yeah, if you like the podcast, I'd love if you'd give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I will be back next week, and I hope to see you then. Until then, I hope you have an awesome day. Bye!